ball swinging in, and it's a fair ball, and Wayzata wins it. Champlin Park back to state for the third straight year.
Well, welcome to Sports Jam. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. This week on the show, plenty of highlights from section and state competition in hockey, gymnastics, and skiing. Plus a look ahead to the boys hockey playoffs and much more.
And let's start with girls hockey. Maple Grove made its only previous state tournament appearance in 2016. The Crimson earned the top seed for the 2019 Section 5AA tournament and hope to take down Centennial for a third time this season when these two met in the section final. No score in the second period. Allison Pitlick shoots just inside the post and scores her 21st goal of the season and gets Centennial on the board. About 7 minutes later, the Crimson tie it. Chloe Corbin sneaks a shot past the Cougars goalie and in, tying the game at 1 through 2 periods. In the third, Manon McMahon on the rush for Maple Grove. She tries the wraparound. That stop, but Lauren Stensley scores with a rebound. And the Crimson lead 2-1, 2:34 into the third. It stays that way until the game's final minute. Number 17, Tristana Tater scores a power play goal to give the Crimson a 3-1 lead. Stensley would add one more before it was over. Maple Grove celebrates a section championship and a trip to state with a 4-1 win over Centennial.
Our coach said it was going to be a rebound. You got to get to the net. We got to get to the net. And we just went and kept knocking at it until it went in. We were so excited and happy.
They have a lot of skilled players, a lot of skilled forwards, so our D zone had to be absolutely perfect. And our forwards capitalized on a really good goalie. So, yeah, we did really good tonight.
Maple Grove earned the number 4 seed for the state tournament. The Crimson will play Minnetonka in the Class AA quarterfinals Thursday night at 8 o'clock at the XL Energy Center. We'll meet Maple Grove goalie Lucy Morgan later in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Spots in the Class 8 tournament were up for grabs as well. The Breck Mustangs took aim at a second straight section title. They faced Minneapolis in the Section 5 title game. First period, the clearing attempt by Minneapolis is stopped by Breck's Ella Brophy. Her shot gets through traffic and in for a 2-0 lead. Allison Qualley gets around the defenseman and tucks in the shot here for the Mustangs as they dominate this game. Later in the first, Qualley catches up to a loose puck and dekes the goalie for her third goal of the period, and it's 5-0 Breck. In the second, Carly Beanick sets up Olivia Mobley, and she scores top corners. The Mustangs win 7-0. They are section champions despite being a young team.
It was a little tough, but the younger players came right in. They were ready. We had Ava Lindsay was obviously very young last year, so she helped the younger kids kind of learn their place and know how to learn how to play at a higher level, which was good. So, and also my fellow captains really helped with that.
Congratulations to the Mustangs. Now to gymnastics, where state competition is later this week. Many of our teams are in Section 5AA. Highlights from this section meet. Nadia Abbott and her Maple Grove teammates have a good night. Abbott scores a 9.55 on the floor exercise to finish second. She qualifies for state as an all-arounder. Uneven bars, and Wayzata's Grace Trainer. The junior finishes second in the bars with a score of 9.55. Trainer also qualified as an all-rounder, and her sister Izzy makes state in the floor exercise. To the vault in Champlin Park, Tashina Biaku Alase. She lands with a score of 9.45. That qualifies her for the state meet in vault. Her teammate, Cheney New, wins 3 of the 4 events, including the vault, where she scores a 9.9 here on the way to making state again as an all-rounder. And we stay on the vault for Maple Grove. Sasha Thompson, her score is 9.3. Thompson headed to state on the vault, floor, and balance beam. Park Center's Annika Lee qualifies for state in 2 events. She finishes 4th in the vault and 6th here on the floor exercise with a score of 9.25. Back to the uneven bars. Champlin Park's Emma Saxa. She earns a mark of 9.125. That's good enough to get her a spot at state as well. New wins the bars with a score of 9.7, but it's Maple Grove beating Champlin Park by just over 2 points to win the section meet. Here's what Abbott and New had to say after the competition.
It means a lot because we've worked so hard and we wanted it so bad, and I think that just made us push ourselves even more to win this year.
It's really fun competing against them because they have some really good girls and they 100% deserve to go to state. They work their butts off all year. It's just sad because we didn't have our best meet, which this was the time to have a good meet.
State team competition is Friday, and the state individual meet for Class AA is Saturday night at the University of Minnesota's Maturi Pavilion. The Armstrong and Park Center girls basketball teams each came into their matchup last week with 18 wins. This one, though, was anything but close. The Pirates at home looking for a season sweep of the Falcons. Armstrong's Carly Kershaw with a nice drive and finish early on for the Falcons on her way to a 30-point night. Game's tied at 6. Pirates defense begins to take over a short time later. Kayla Cox, the steal, gets the ball to Lauren Frost for 2 of her 18 points. Park Center goes on a scoring run here in the first half. Frost with a dribble drive to the basket for 2 more. 33-13 Pirates at this point. Tanae Griffin caps a 28-2 run with this 3-ball from the corner, and it's a 30-point Pirates lead, 43-13. Park Center running on all cylinders. Anaya Rubin spots Chloe Sink open for a long 2. The Pirates put up 60 first-half points on the Falcons. Second half, Adalia McKenzie steps in for the steal for the Pirates and takes it back the other way for 2 at 69-26. Frostel missed on a 3-ball from the wing, but McKenzie battles for the rebound and fights back for 2 more, plus a foul. Sophomore scores 42 points. Park Center wins it big over Armstrong, 84-50 the final. And in the boys' game between those teams, Park Center avenged their only loss of the season with a 55-46 win over Armstrong. Park Center is now 20-1. And how about this one in girls basketball? Heritage Christian Academy defeated Maranatha Christian Academy in the MCAA conference tournament 70-64. It's the first conference title for the Eagles and ends the Mustangs' incredible 117-game conference winning streak.
Spots in the team portion of the state wrestling tournament were on the line for local squads. Many of the teams in our area compete in Section 5-3A. Second seed Wayzata faced Buffalo in the semifinals, and it's all Trojans early. Cal Lonnquist gets the pin in the 106-pound match to get Wayzata started. Kyler Wong gets out a good win at 120, getting the takedown, and moments later a near fall that leads to a 9-7 win over Thomas Sampson for a 15-0 Trojans lead. Adam Eldemir gets a key win in the 152-pound match as he fights off a single-leg shot to get a takedown. He beats 30-win wrestler Owen Herbst 10-5 as Wayzata wins 44-27 to move into the final. Top seed and host St. Michael Albertville awaited the Trojans in that title match. At 120, Wayzata's Cale Swenson continues his strong season with a takedown on the way to a 10-0 major decision over Caden Amundsen. The Trojans are up 8-3. But the Knights are tough. Second-ranked Cole Becker with the throw takes Dominic Heim to his back and gets the pin in the 132-pound match. Parker Carey gets a pin for Wayzata in the 145-pound match to pull the Trojans within 21-14, but it's mostly Knights from there. At 170, second-ranked Carl Luer gets the pin over Elliot Omlid. STMA wins 6 matches in a row and on the way to a 51-20 win for their 21st consecutive trip to state. And John Totino Grace is headed to state in Class 2A. They beat Orono in the Section 5 final.
Individual tournaments will be good ones this coming weekend as well. Next up on Sports Jam, local skiers shine at the state Nordic meet, plus highlights from the end of the regular season in boys hockey. Welcome back. We had some strong performances, Jay, at the state Nordic meet.
Well, that's for sure. A local team and a local skier winning championships. Hard to beat that. In the boys' classic pursuit race, Armstrong's Will Ahmet starts 7th based on his time in the freestyle race. It's a tight bunch of 4 at the finish. Peter Moore of St. Paul Academy wins, followed by Alex Nemeth of Sartell St. Cloud Cathedral, Cooper Lennox of Mora, and Garrett Beckrich of Grand Rapids. Ahmet is the top local racer, placing 8th and helping his team to 3rd place. James Schneider of Wayzata is alone for 10th place. His Trojans are 7th as a team. In bib number 10, CJ Young of Maple Grove is 14th. And Roger Anderson of Armstrong also cracks the top 20, placing 16th. The wind picks up and the temperature drops as the girls' race starts with Armstrong's Lucy Anderson ahead of Wayzata's Mara McCollar. And the two local skiers have a great stretch battle with Anderson briefly in front and then McCollar overtaking her late to repeat as state individual champion with Anderson in second. Then on the right, May Barnes of Armstrong has enough energy left to capture 5th place and help the Falcons to the team championship. Kaylin Jackson of Hopkins moves up from 24th after the first race. She is 11th. Lauren McCollar of Wayzata is in blue in the back of this pack of 3. She's 14th place. Leah Rudd of Armstrong races well to place 18th on a great day for the Falcons. In Green Park Center's Elizabeth Matson places 25th. And here's what McCollar and Anderson had to say after the race.
Everyone being here makes it so much better too. It's crazy and the energy here is amazing. And to come back and do it again was incredible, more than I could have ever asked for because there's so many good skiers, and like Lucy, skiing with her is just incredible. I learned so much every time.
Mara and I were battling it back and forth, I think like halfway through the race until the end, and I did the best I could. I went out there and gave it all I got. So there's 5 seniors on our team and we've been skiing together for 6 years, and it's just really exciting to come back for our last season and win, or hopefully we've won the state title.
And yes, indeed, they did go on to win that championship. The Totino Grace boys hockey teams won the West Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference. The Eagles hosted Centennial in a crossover game against the Cougars of the North Division. Early in the first period, a nice move by the Cougars. Zan Brule stepping inside the defenseman, ripping a shot from the top of the circle. It's 1-0 Centennial. Later in the first, the Eagles are shorthanded, but Luke Delzer hits the far corner of the Centennial net with his shot. The game is tied up at 1. And Grace gets one more before the end of the period. Kyle Heffron with some great stick work on the play to get right in on net. He roofs the shot for a goal. It's 2-0 Eagles after 1. But Centennial controls much of the rest of the game. The first shot here is stopped, but Wyatt Clancy is there for the rebound goal, and the Cougars take a 3-2 lead in the second. They lead 4-2 after 2. Third period, Totino Grace gets one back. Ben Palmer rips a shot in from close range, and it's 4-3. The Cougars, though, keep the lead and add to it in the game's final 4 minutes. Josh O'Hara scores off a feed from Connor Thompson. Centennial skates away with a 5-3 win. Totino Grace, though, is the top seed in Section 4A.
The section playoffs for boys hockey get underway this week. Wayzata got tuned up for postseason last week when they played one of the state's top teams. Second-ranked Minnetonka came to Plymouth to take on the Trojans. First period, Wayzata's Michael North with the shot from the point. Nick Gardner backhands the loose puck in, and Wayzata leads it 1-0 after 1. Second period, the skipper's number 2, Grant Doctor, with a blast of the one-timer. The scramble in front of the Wayzata net, Patrick Wires bangs it home for a goal, and it's 1-1. Later in the period, the Trojans turn the puck over in their own end, and Tonka quickly takes advantage. Teddy Lagerback converts on the pass from Mason Hendrickson. Minnetonka's in front 2-1. Same score in the third period. Wayzata's Joel Matthews wins the draw back to Carson Peters over to Tommy Bergslin, who rips a shot home for a goal. That ties the game at 2. No more scoring the rest of the way. This one ends in a 2-2 tie. The Trojans are the 3rd seed in Section 6AA. This is slate for Thursday's quarterfinals. Wayzata hosts 6th seed Armstrong Cooper. Benilde home to face Holy Angels. The semifinals are Saturday in Bloomington. Champlin Park's boys basketball team looked to wrap up another North Division title in the Northwest Suburban Conference when they hosted Blaine Wednesday night. First half, Blaine's Lucas Larson cans a long 3 for an early Bengals lead. Rebels quarterback Bennett Otto, the receiver on this pass from Jace Miller. Otto finishes as Champlin Park builds a lead. Jason Call hits a 3 from the corner for Blaine as the Bengals keep pace. Call scores 20 points in the game. With time winding down on the first half, Jacob Johnson's shot is off, but Alex John gets the tip in. Champlin Park leads 29-20. John scores 15 in the game. Otto knocks the ball loose and gets the return pass from Cooper Olson. That's 45-34 Rebels in the second half. Otto will zip a pass ahead to Olson. His first shot blocked, but he'll get the rebound and put back, plus the foul. And then TJ Moberg spins away from the defender and passes to Otto, who strokes a 3. He finishes with 23 points. Champlin Park wins 70-61. They take a 3-game lead on the second-place Bengals. And a good showing again for Champlin Park as they're going to win another North Division title here.
Congratulations to them. Straight ahead in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet the goalie who helped lead Maple Grove to the state girls hockey tournament.
Maple Grove senior Lucy Morgan backstopped the Crimson to the Section 5AA title and is a finalist for Goalie of the Year in girls hockey. Jason Melillo profiled Morgan in this week's Sports Jam Spotlight.
Coming into the 2017-18 high school hockey season, Maple Grove was looking for a new starting goalie.
When Coco and Bree left, those were going to be some big shoes to fill, and we felt at that time that both of our young goaltenders would have battled and would have been able to hold us in some games and continue to grow and develop. But then Lucy coming into Maple Grove allowed us to have just somebody who was going to be solid day in and day out and again give us an opportunity to win.
Lucy Morgan moved to Maple Grove in the summer of 2017. She grew up in Mandan, North Dakota and had a passion for hockey from a young age. Morgan split her time between goalie and forward, but eventually became a full-time netminder.
My team wasn't as good as other teams or not as competitive, so we would either lose 6-0 or when I was in net it would be a closer game, and I just like to compete and I like to be out there all the time. When I was a player and I was sitting on the bench, it just was frustrating when you get scored on.
Youth hockey in North Dakota isn't on the same level as Minnesota, and Morgan often played in boys' leagues to challenge herself.
That's how I feel like how I was able to come into this program and play. If I didn't play with the boys in North Dakota, I don't think I would be the goalie at Maple Grove right now.
Facing arguably the best high school players in the country here in Minnesota has made Morgan better, and college hockey programs are showing interest.
I've been talking to some D1 schools, yeah. I feel like since I moved here, that's kind of helped me recruiting-wise, but it's not as good as the people that were born and raised here. They got recruited a lot sooner than I did, which is fine. It doesn't really matter to me.
College hockey is probably in Lucy Morgan's future. For now, though, she's grateful to be between the pipes for the Crimson and honored to be a finalist for Goalie of the Year.
I remember back when I was in middle school or back in North Dakota, I just remember getting those newspapers, those Minnesota newspapers that would be at the hockey store, and I'd read them and I would just look at the finalists and I was like, oh, I thought that never could be me, but now it's actually me, and I'm super grateful for that opportunity.
Maple Grove will open state tournament play Thursday night when they take on Minnetonka. Jay talks boys hockey with Champlin Park up next.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. It's been a really strong season for the Champlin Park boys hockey team. In fact, a record-setting season for a number of wins in the regular season for the Rebels. And we're joined by a couple of their seniors and also co-coach Tommy Potter. And we'll start with Jack Karges. How much fun has this been to be on a team that's done as well as you guys have so far?
It's been awesome. It's been really fun with the guys. We're all really proud of what we've done, and now we just want to keep it going.
At what point did you guys realize that you were maybe in range to set a new record for the school for wins?
Once we were about 13, 14, coach reminded us of what the record was, so we were just really looking for that. Now we just want to keep extending it.
What would you say have been the key things that have led to this? What have you guys really done well all season?
We've just been really working on fine-tuning our forecheck and our power play and penalty kill and stuff. It's been a lot of hard work, especially from our new young guys. We've had really good depth from our forwards and our defense, and it's always nice having a good goalie back there.
Playoff time here, and obviously you've got a difficult section. Blaine, Maple Grove, teams like that are pretty good, but how do you guys feel about your chances to compete well?
We're really confident. We know this team can do anything, and we've proven it a couple times this year. So if we just stick to our game plan and keep it simple and work really hard, anything's possible.
All right, Jack, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
And Sam Lee, certainly a team that's done some great things kind of all throughout the season, too. Has that been fun to see, just a steady level of play for this team for the most part?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We started out the season lost a couple games right away, but after that we just went on a roll. I think we had 12-game win streak or so, and we just kept on going from there. So it's been fun.
Did you guys kind of see this coming? Did you have pretty high expectations of this group coming into the year?
Yeah, we knew we were young coming in, but after a couple of practices and we started to really getting into the season a little bit more, we realized that we can do some great things. So,
if people around the school started to take notice of you guys a little bit too, I know it's kind of been known as a basketball school, but you guys feel pretty good about that part too?
Yeah, we got a lot of friends that come out to the games, and then they tell their friends, and we've been getting a good crowd coming out, and it's been fun having them there.
All right, Sam, congrats on a great regular season and have fun in the playoffs.
Thank you.
And Coach Potter, your team has, we said, done some really good things. As coaches, how do you guys feel about the way they performed?
Oh, I couldn't be happier. I mean, this is probably one of the hardest working teams we've ever had. To come in and day out, and they just work their butts off, and hard work goes a long way. Little Champlin's not supposed to beat big teams like Duluth East, and haven't beaten an Oak and Centennial in 6+ years, and we've done that this year. So it's been a really good year. Really happy with our team.
One time, very early in the Champlin Park hockey program, you made the state tournament. What will it take to compete for it against some really good teams? Like we said, Blaine, Maple Grove, and some of the others.
Just for our team, it's keeping it simple, not trying to do too much. When we move our feet and we get on a good forecheck, we're hard to beat. We're a really hard team to beat. We'll let guys shoot from the outside. We got a good enough defense core and good enough goaltender where we rely that they're going to do their jobs. And so if we can get down on a forecheck and just pressure teams, we feel really good about our chances. Depending on who we play.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck in the postseason.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jay.
All right, Tommy Potter, the co-head coach for the Champlin Park boys hockey team after their fantastic regular season, getting set for the Section 5 AA tournament. We've got our plays of the week in just a moment, but first let's take a look at that 5 AA tournament bracket. Work it quickly around to Miller, and he attacks and scores.
And a reminder of our CCX Sports Play of the Week. We'll have 4 new plays each week to vote on. Go to our website at ccxmedia.org and then go to the Play of the Week page under the Sports tab and vote for your favorite play. Next week, we'll reveal this week's winner and have 4 new plays to watch. And here's last week's winner. It's Armstrong Cooper goalie Colin Spellman, who made back-to-back huge saves in this recent Armstrong Cooper win over Champlin Park. That was this week's top vote getter with 780 votes, and thanks to all who voted. Remember, go to our website and vote for this week's plays. They're posted now. We'll announce the winner on our February 25th program. And we'll be right back.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
And that is all for this week's show.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Sports Jam.